In economic terms, AI will make superintelligence a factor of production. Let me explain. Welcome to Lead Prompt, executing leadership from the root. I'm your host, John Collins. In economics, the factors of production are the fundamental resources or inputs required to create any good or service. Whether you are baking a loaf of bread or building a software platform, you need a combination of these elements to produce output. In this episode, I will argue that AI will become a factor of production soon, specifically superintelligence. But before making that case, let me firstly review the classical factors of production. Classical economists categorize these resources into four pillars, each of which earns a specific type of income, i.e., its return. The first one is land, which is a natural resource. This encompasses all naturally occurring resources used in the production process. It includes physical real estate, but extends much further into materials extracted from the earth. Examples include agricultural soil, water, crude oil, minerals, timber, and even the air or electromagnetic spectrum. The economic return is rent, the income earned by the owners of land or natural resources for allowing others to use them. The second factor is labor, which is human effort. Labor is the physical and mental effort contributed by humans in the creation of goods and services. It measures the work done by people, regardless of their skill level. Examples: a software engineer writing code, a farmer harvesting crops, a teacher leading a classroom, or a delivery driver. Economic return is wages, the compensation paid to workers in exchange for their time and effort, including salaries, bonuses, and benefits. The third factor is capital, which is manufactured resources. In economics, capital does not just mean money. Instead, it refers to the human-made tools, machinery, and infrastructure used to produce other goods and services. Money is simply financial capital used to buy physical capital. Examples include factory buildings, delivery trucks, computer servers, hammers, and software algorithms. The economic return is interest, the return earned on capital invested in the business. And lastly, the fourth factor is entrepreneurship, which is the organizer. Entrepreneurship is the human initiative that combines the other three factors, land, labor, and capital, to create something of value. It involves taking on the risk of the venture and innovating. Examples include a founder starting a tech startup, a local baker opening a new storefront, or an inventor patenting a new product. The economic return is profit, the financial reward left after all of the costs of land, labor, and capital interest have been paid. Profit is the reward for taking all of the business risk. In a previous article I wrote back in 2004 entitled Defining the Knowledge-Based Economy, I argued that knowledge was the fifth factor of production. Quoting myself from the past, quote, knowledge, the fifth factor. Enterprise and labor are factors that are affected by the level of knowledge contained within these factors. For example, a successful experienced entrepreneur is more likely to succeed with a new venture than an inexperienced business person straight out of business school. Therefore, we can safely say that enterprise and labor obtain knowledge over time. And in the knowledge-based economy, that knowledge increases the worth of both of these factors. Knowledge itself may also act independently of human factors of production. For example, knowledge may be contained within a computer system rather than in the human mind. Such knowledge bases can contain wealth-generating information. For example, details on building a valuable pharmaceutical. End quote. It is always strange to read one's words from 22 years ago, especially the sentence, quote, for example, knowledge may be contained within a computer system rather than a human mind. End quote. Clearly, I wasn't thinking about AI at the time, but it seems like a good fit for the computer system as a replacement for a mind. Therefore, I would like to change my mind after all of these years and argue that AI is the fifth factor, specifically superintelligence. Thanks to AI, we now have a marketplace in superintelligence. enabling anyone to pay a small fee to access vast repositories of human knowledge on any topic in seconds. Given the widespread availability of such tools, it would seem likely that they will become a common input into a diverse range of economic activities. If we accept that superintelligence is this new fifth factor of production, the natural next question for any economist or engineer is the following: what is the economic return? And more importantly, for those of us leading technical teams, how does it reshape the other four pillars? When raw cognitive power becomes abundant and commoditized, available instantly at the speed of compute, the fundamental bottlenecks of production shift. The differentiator is no longer just how many smart people you can hire, but how effectively your architecture and systems can orchestrate this new digital intellect. It forces us to rethink organizational design. AI transitions from being a mere tool, which we would traditionally classify as capital, to an active participant in problem solving. In an era where superintelligence is the standard baseline input, the real premium falls squarely on the entrepreneurship factor, the vision to direct that intelligence towards the right systematic problems, and the engineering discipline to keep the resulting system simple, modular, and robust. We don't just need to adopt AI. We need to build AI first structures and integrate this intelligence seamlessly into our production cycles, breaking down traditional silos along the way. That's the true challenge for the next decade of tech leadership. Thank you for tuning in to Lead Prompt. I'm John Collins. Until next time, keep executing for the Take care.